Now we'll talk about graphing equations. As we previously mentioned, every linear equation, when we graph it, is going to look like a straight line. And so in order to graph a straight line, all we need are two distinct points, and then we can put a straight line between them and extend it out in both sides. Whenever we're given an equation, we can find two of these points by putting the equation in slope-intercept form. We can put a point at the y-intercept, where x is 0 and y is b. And then using our slope, which is also given in this form of the equation, we can walk our way to the next point and connect both of those points with a straight line. I'll point out this isn't the only method we can use, but it's a consistent one that will work every time. Let's do an example. Let's say we want to graph the equation y equals 2/3 x minus 4. Remember, since this is in the form y equals mx plus b, we know two pieces of information. M equals 2/3, that's our slope, and b equals minus 4, that's our y-intercept. So if we want to graph this function, we know straight away that there's a point down here at 0, minus 4. That's where the graph intersects the y-axis. From here, we know that we have a slope of 2/3. So that means if we step 1 unit forward in the x direction, we'll go up 2/3 of a unit. Now that's a little hard to graph, but remember we can think of this as rise over run. So that means if we walk 3 units in the x direction, we go up 2. And that's probably a little easier to see if we walk over 1, 2, 3 units, and we go up 1, 2. We'll have another point here at, what is this, 3, -2. From here, we can connect these points with a straight line going off in either direction towards infinity. And if we do this right, it should follow the same pattern. Every 3 steps over, bop, 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 we should go up 2 units, bop, bop. And that should continue off in both directions. Let's try another one. 2x plus 3y equals minus 4. There are other techniques we can use, but following the same steps, we want to rewrite this so it looks like y equals mx plus b. To that end, we want to get this y by itself, and so we can subtract 2x from both sides. That gives us 3y equals -2x minus 4. Since we want to get y by itself, we can divide both sides by 3. And simplifying this gives y equals -2/3 x minus 4/3. If we want to write this as a decimal, they'll be infinitely long, but we could write -0.66 repeating x minus 1.33, if that helps us place them. Specifically, we know that this equation has a slope of -2/3, so it's going to be sloping downwards, and a y-intercept of -4/3, which is a little further down than -1. If we were to plot that point, -4/3, or -1.333, it's going to be right around here. Or I guess that would be 0, -4/3. And we know that for each step that we take in the x direction, we're going to be going down, since this is negative, we're going to be going down 2/3 of a unit. Once again, we can think of this as rise over run. For every 3 steps we take, we'll be going down 2 units. So we could go over 1, 2, 3, and then down 2 units, 1, 2. We have another point right around there. Once we have 2 points, we can draw a straight line through them, extending infinitely in both directions. And if we did this to scale, we should see that that same pattern follows for every 3 units, 1, 2, 3 in one direction, we go up 1, 2 units. Okay.